Hello friends and welcome back to Enterprise Architecture. We are playing Techopolis 2, which is a mod pack that I've just started here. This is only episode 2, so we have already set up our jumbo furnace, our tree automation, and our cobblestone automation. So we are making some pretty good progress already. So we're going to see what we can do about getting some coal generation, some lapis generation, maybe some other things set up. So with no further ado, let's dive right in. Okay, so with our basic tech all done here, we completed all of these quests, we are on to coal and lapis. Now to actually unlock these, we need to backtrack for a second. We need to go over here to our pickaxe configurator, and we actually need to enable coal and lapis here. So this now means that when we use our prospecting pick on our colored stone, we will get back out of it things like coal and lapis. We can actually make this add other items to find as well that it'll pick out, but for right now, those are the only ones we actually care about. So let's go ahead and mine all of this up real fast, like so. There we go. And we have now got a decent amount of coal and lapis. I don't know why we got more of one than the other, but I don't think that really is going to bother us any. Now, to use these, we can wrap them around stone, and that will make blocks of the given item, whatever it happens to be. And you can see here that we need to go make a whole bunch more so that we have a full set of our 36, that's the magic number, coal ore, so that we can set up another miner around it. The other thing we're going to do here is start making more lapis. And with that lapis, we can make our lapis lazuli blocks. Right now it's just the fragments, and those lapis lazuli actual ingots, not blocks, sorry. We're going to use those to make tier 3 support frames. We're actually going to jump right over tier 2 altogether into tier 3. So let's go ahead and get started on all that stuff. First things first, we need to grab up whatever cobblestone has been made here and start cooking this up even further. So we're going to go ahead and drop a full stack of cobblestone in here into our upgraded jumbo furnace. Again, we had added this one jumbo furnace upgrade last episode at the end so that it'll make double the amount. So basically it'll smelt 2 pieces at once. It's not doubling the amount. And so we're going to use that to make stone. That stone we then are going to cook back. In most cases, I think we're going to use most of that to make into the colored stones. Okay, and there we have our light gray colored stone. Again, we took our cobblestone, smelted into stone, stone gets smelted into smooth stone gets smelted back into light gray colored stone. And this light gray colored stone, we're going to break this down real fast. And hopefully, after we cook all of this down and break it, it'll give us enough that we can make all of the blocks that we need. So let's go ahead and break this last set there. I've got more cooking over there. And let's see here. So we're at 32 coal ore. Let's take our 4 pieces of stone and mix our coal fragments with it and get up to 36. Perfect. It's just what we like to see. Now let's take our lapis lazuli fragments and make as many pieces of that as we can. That's 32, 48, and up to 61. That's almost enough. That's a good start. Okay, so how is our tree farm doing? What we really need is a bunch more wood, and we do need a bunch more sticks. And we're going to take those sticks and wrap it around this lapis lazuli. And by doing that, let's do half here and we'll do half here. We're going to make ourselves a bunch of these tier 3 support frames. And we're just going to keep this up, make as much of this as we can. That's 64 and then an additional 8. Okay, I think that's a pretty good place to start. Now, let's see here. Where did our pickaxe go? I hope we have enough pickaxe durability left because I want to infinimine this whole scaffolding real quick. Ultimine, excuse me, not infinimine. Different mod. Oh, not quite enough. So let's go ahead and make ourselves just one more little stone pick. And we're going to try that again. Let's grab this part and we're going to ultimine that. There we go. Give me all those up. Okay, great. And that left everything else in place. And now let's just go ahead and add in our tier 3 frames. Now you don't have to upgrade all of your frames as you go. But the reason that we want to in this case is because I'm going to do a little resource saving method where we overlap the frames of 2 of these resource miners. So by doing it this way, we can basically save ourselves, 13 frames from each one that we're going to do. So right here, let's connect this up. We, once again, double check that this is still green. Looks like it is. Mining cobblestone. Good, good, good. And now I've made myself another little platform here, and I can just come over 1, 2, 3 and build up another set of scaffolding just like this. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we finish that out and do the same here, 2, 3, and come up again, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Connect that up, and this is now a valid scaffold. So we can use this, and it doesn't care. Now, we grab our coal ore up, and let's go ahead and start placing that down here. Again, we're doing 4 high and a 3 by 3 area, so that's 36 blocks altogether, and that was the magic number here. And now we can fill this in, and this will give us a nice spot where we can put our miner on top of it. I already made that miner while we were waiting. And on top of that, we put a chest. And to that, do we have enough? No, we don't have quite enough. If we had a little more lapis lazuli, then I would use that as my caps here, but we're just going to use regular stone, and that's going to be fine. Okay, so this should be green, and now it's mining coal ore. There we go. There's our coal ore. Okay, so now we need to take a little bit more of our lapis, just the barest minimum there, and wrap that around our stone. Do I have any stone left? I know I have some smooth stone. Oh, it's in my hand. That's why I can't find it. It's in the offhand. Okay, let's put that there, and that'll give us 1 block of lapis lazuli. That's just enough to complete the quests here. So we got our coal fragment, lapis fragment, coal ore, and lapis ore quests. We also got that quest to get just lapis. We skipped over the tier 2 support frame altogether with the polished stone. Just to complete the next quest, I am going to go ahead and make a tier 2 support frame with our light gray colored stone. So we're going to put that into our inventory. Again, we're not going to do anything with this. This is just going to waste away. So it does give us this quest done though, however. And then the only other thing we need to do is get 1 piece of coal. 8 around. Okay, so we can do that, and that'll give us a piece of coal, and that will complete that quest. Okay, that's done. Perfect. Oh, and now we are all the way, skipping ahead to immersive engineering. That's super neat. All the way to conveyor belts. So this is a very interesting recipe for conveyor belts, using lapis lazuli and our smooth stone slab. Now, what this says to me is we need to go ahead and make ourselves up a bunch of lapis ore and make ourselves another one of these, because it looks like we're going to be using way, way more lapis than I thought we were. So I'm going to grab up another stack of cobblestone here and make myself up some more cooked stone, the smooth stone, and then we are going to start using that to make ourselves a nice little amount of our lapis here. So we grab this, and you know what? I shouldn't have made all of these either. You know what? But I'm going to go ahead and break this light gray colored stone and use that instead. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to break this real quick, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so we are slowly cooking up our stone here. We're going to grab up our lapis lazuli fragments, and we are going to use those to make a bunch more lapis lazuli ore. At the end of the day, we need 36 all said and done here. So we are working our way up that chain. Let's go ahead and grab more of these. Okay, now we're up to 17. So we're picking away at this a little at a time here. 28. And I think we're going to get there in just a couple of minutes. Okay, here is our next set of scaffolding set up. So we're just going to fill this in with our lapis. Again, we are going to be using a lot of our lapis here, more than I thought we were going to. So may as well get this all going sooner rather than later. Like so. We just need to drop a miner on top, and then we put a chest on top of that, and it is happy mining lapis ore. Great. Everybody's doing exactly what they should, and I've got a couple of support frames left to spare for whenever I put in the next of my miners. Okay, so that is all cranking along. Let's jump down onto our bed and move on. Okay, so I think we can go ahead and manufacture our first couple of conveyor belts here, at least to complete the quest. Let's go ahead and make some smooth stone slabs real quick. And then let's make a bunch of these. Actually, let's make another set of those while we're at it. Why not? Great. And that completes this quest. Now, to do the dropping conveyor belt, it looks like we need a wooden hopper. Okay, that's easy enough. Let's see here. So a wooden hopper. I wonder if this has the alternate recipe in here. It used to be that you could make a hopper like this. But yeah, this one does not have that recipe. So we're gonna have to go ahead and make our chest first, and then use a couple of more blocks of wood to complete that wooden hopper. There we go. And then that, let's put it in our inventory for a second in case any quests need to be complete, goes underneath a conveyor belt to make a dropping conveyor belt. Okay, so that will drop things down. And then we need a splitting conveyor belt. That's easy enough. That's just 3 conveyor belts in a triangle pattern. Great, and that'll evenly distribute items. We need a vertical conveyor belt. That's just 3 going straight up. I'm so glad that we made extras now because this is making this go so much quicker. There's those. We need an item router. Oh, I haven't played with item routers in a second. We need 4 hoppers, a chest, and 4 conveyor belts for that. Let's go ahead and make ourselves a bunch of our chests. We're certainly going to use them here almost immediately. Let's grab the rest of these logs and use those. And then we need to just finish this out and make ourselves 4 wooden hoppers like so. Okay, so this gets, what, 1 chest, 4 wooden hoppers, and 4 conveyor belts. I don't know if I'm doing these in the right order or not, or if I need to flip this. Yeah, I think these all move over 1. There we go, 1 item router. Great. Item routers we used a little bit in the Feed the Factory pack. I didn't really love them. I didn't really see much advantage to them. Oh, and we need 1 more wooden hopper to do the extracting one. So let's do this and then this. That gives us our wooden hopper, and that goes in front of a conveyor belt to give us an extracting conveyor belt set. Okay, there we go. And now we have completed this entire coal and lapis section. It looks like we've also just gotten started on copper and tin as well. For that, we need to start with a block of coal. That's charcoal, that's the wrong kind of coal. Let's see what we can do here. Can we use coal fragments to make these? Yes, we can. So let's go ahead and grab this and make 8, and then we'll make 1 more. And with that, we will make ourselves a block of coal. There we go, 1 block of coal. And that gets us the first quest, blank research papers. Let's take a pause here and step back for a second. So I mentioned in the first episode that we do have these research points, these tech bucks that we combine with research books, and we can unlock all of these additional features here. So I think it's time for us to take a step away from our active techie unlocking and get all of this stuff unlocked. We need Compressium first before we can get to storage drawers. I want to do all of that. And then from there, we're going to come back, circle back, and get the copper and tin research book unlocked, which we get with blocks of coal and blocks of lapis. Now, we need to let that process for a while in our miners before we're going to be able to unlock those. So this is a good time to start working on some other stuff. Now, to get that other stuff, we need to start doing a few things. And notably here is I'm going to set up a little mini farm. Skyblock farms always look a little silly to me, but it is important for us to have one at least here so that we can start growing some of the crops that we need. Notably, what we first are going to need here is a whole bunch of our hemp. So the industrial hemp is made using seeds. Now, let's go ahead and take 3 of our seeds to make industrial hemp seeds from immersive engineering. And we, oops, did I not pick up all 3? I did not. Okay, there's all 3 there. And let's go ahead and make ourselves a hoe as well, like so. And then the only other thing that we need here is a bucket of our water, which we had picked back up. So let's grab our ceramic bucket, and we're just going to put the water right in the middle of this donut block here. That's just going to fall out the bottom, but through the magic of Minecraft gravity, we don't have to worry about it. It's just down there. And let's start by putting our 2 pieces of wheat there and our 3 pieces of industrial hemp there. And you know what? I'm actually going to come out a little bit further here with this platform because I know that I'm going to grow more hemp. So there's all of those grown already. There's those grown already. And now we can actually add ourselves a second row of hemp, just like that. And let's go ahead and put all of our wheat seeds down in the space that is remaining. Okay, great. Yup, torque to grow is the best. Okay, so what we really need now is to take our hemp string, and we need to get some wood as well. Actually, what we really need is sticks. We are going to take our hemp fiber, and we're going to turn a bunch of this into string. Let's just do a little extra for now, because I know we're going to use it later. And then we take 2 pieces of string, like so, and we put 2 rows of sticks on either side, and that gives us what they call a drying table. Again, this is from Techopolis Utilities. Don't know much about that mod, but it does have a bunch of stuff in here that we're going to use. So what do we do with that? Okay, so we go back here and let's grab up some planks, and we are going to make ourselves a whole bunch of pressure plates. We take those pressure plates, put them in a square, and we get what they call log sheets. Those log sheets we then need to combine with water so that we can make ourselves a piece of what's going to become paper. Now to do that, I'm going to set us up a little infinite water source. Now infinite water sources are only going to spawn if you actually have a bottom underneath these pieces, underneath the water. So I actually want to put another piece of dirt underneath this. So to do that, we're going to do something super dangerous. We are going to float down just a little and put a block there. And then we're going to float back up and frame this in underneath, just like that. And now by putting my other bucket of water in this corner, we get an infinite water source. So we can make as much water as we would like. Great. So using that and our log sheets, I believe it is this pattern. Yeah, there we go. We get soaked paper that way with our log sheets. 4 pieces of it each time around. Now we take our soaked sheets, drop it into the drying table, and this will turn it into regular paper. That regular paper in a square like this, a donut block again, is going to give us a blank research papers. So we're going to wait for that to finish. And while that's finishing, we're just going to go ahead and make ourselves up a bunch more of that because we are certainly going to use it. Okay, so that paper is now soaking. We make another piece of our blank research papers, and now we have all of these research papers. We can then use these research paper to make all of these various books. Now we need to do the copper and tin one, as I mentioned, but before we get to the copper and tin one, we need the research for compressium. So this requires stripped oak wood, or any logs actually, and smooth stone. There we go. There's 4 pieces of smooth stone, and grab up our logs, and now we can make the compressium book. Perfect. So we take the compressium book along with our tech bucks, which we have been hoarding, and we can now go back to this other quest line here, basic research, and we can submit the book, we submit the tech bucks, and now we have compressium. Compressium gives us mainly compressed cobblestone, I think, is the only thing that we really use it for. So we can actually replace each of these cobblestone pieces with compressed cobblestone, and then it'll increase the amount of cobblestone that we're doing to 8 per tick. But I think for that we also need to upgrade our support frames. I think if we do this, there we go, we get some compressed cobblestone, but we still need a whole bunch more. We need 36 of it to fill this in. And I think, actually, does this work with miners? Tier 2, yeah, so we can do up to a tier 2 with this. If I use this, I can make the double X cobblestone, and I think I get that from our tier 3. So that means 36 compressed twice cobblestone. Yeah, so we need 4 of those to get the storage drawers book. So I'm going to keep making a lot more cobblestone real quick here and see if we can't get that unlocked. But that might actually take a little while, so we're going to hold off on the storage drawers until we have a lot more cobblestone. So what can we do in the meantime? Well, we can go to the copper and tin quest and use that to make this, the copper and tin research book with the other research papers that we have. So we need a block of coal, 4 blocks of coal, sorry, and 4 blocks of lapis. Let's go see how our ore generation is doing on that side of the fence. Well, we have a bunch of coal ore. We have a bunch of lapis. Great. So we're going to let this cook down. And while we're at it, I guess we're going to put our lapis in there as well and see how much that we get back out. I'm just now realizing we actually missed one quest in the basic research, and that is the structure placer. So to do that, we haven't used the structure placer. I don't really find it necessary for most of these things because the structures are relatively straightforward. It basically will build things for you if you tell it what you need to build. So let's go ahead and make ourselves one more miner like this. And then we're going to use that to make our structure placer like this. And there we go. Let's just grab our extra tech buck. And we have now completed that entire chapter. Wonderful. Okay, well, I missed that the first time around, and we should be good now. Great. Okay, there's the last of our coal done. We've already done our 4 blocks of lapis. Let's just do the last coal block there. Great. And then we use this to make our copper and tin research book. Perfect. Now let's grab back up our tech bucks. And do we even need tech bucks for this? I think we just need to check that off. Ooh, sugarcane. That's going to be useful. Okay. And we submit this here. And now we have access to copper and tin. Copper and tin we are going to get, again, off of the colored stone, which we go back to, where is it? Ores R Us. Here we go. So here we want to disable coal and lapis. We are not going to use that from the colored stone anymore, but we are going to enable copper and tin instead. Okay, so we've got more of our light gray colored stone. Let's go ahead and stack this up real quick here. Give ourselves a nice little space to work with, just like that. Oh, that's not quite what I wanted, but it'll work. There we go. Grab our processor's pick. Use Ultimine, and there we go. This time you can see we got copper and tin fragments. So let's go ahead and go back to our quests real quick. And under copper and tin, there, we've done that, and we've done that. Now with that in hand, we grab our stone here, and we can mix this together, and that gives us blocks of copper ore, and blocks of tin ore as well. There we go. Now, we need to make up a bunch more of our cooked stone because we need 36 of each of these, remember, and that's the magic number here. And then we will use that to make our next set of miners here on the back side of this. All right, so I set up our scaffolding here while we were waiting, just like we did before. I'm going to do copper right on the back, like so. Okay, there's our copper in place. Here is a miner, and our tin is in place, and there's a miner on that, so that's going to start mining. The only thing we forgot about, of course, as we always do, is that we need to make ourselves a couple of chests up. So let's go ahead and grab a couple chests, just like that, and head back up. Oh, there we go. Put our chests in our hand and add it on top of here and on top of here. And now, in just a couple of ticks, there's our copper ore, and there is our tin ore. Great. And that means these quests are done now. Wonderful. Okay, so to get copper ingots, we actually need 5 blocks of copper. That's annoying, but that's the way that we have to do it. I don't know of another way for us to get raw copper yet. Yeah, because we don't have access to the crusher or anything else. So we are just going to have to wait until we have at least 5 of each of these, which we now do. And we're going to take this back over to our smeltery and drop these in. So 5 there and 5 there. And that should yield for us our ingots that we can complete these quests. Tin, copper, great. So this quest is done. Let's grab the ingots extra. That's done, great. And we need a copper and tin block. That means we need a bunch more of those. So we're going to let everything process for a while. But we also need to now move on to bronze. So if we have 1 tin ingot and 3 copper ingots in our jumbo smelter, we can make a bronze ingot. So that actually works as an alloy kiln for us. Okay, so there is our bronze. That went really quickly because we actually just had it hanging out already. And now we just have to wait a little while for our copper and tin to finish until we have enough to make a block of each. Okay, and there is the last of our copper smelted down. I also realized that I have these fragments just sitting here not doing anything that I should have just used for this quest, but it's fine. This'll do. So there is our copper, and there is our tin. And with that, we have completed another section of our quest. All right, so I think we are in a pretty good spot. We've got our copper and we've got our tin, and we are ready to roll for the next couple of quests. So I think that calls to an end this episode of Enterprise Architecture. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you back here next time. Bye, friends.